Hello. Um, I'm behind my house now at the back, so there are a lot of woods here. I live in a village. Okay, so at this very moment, I'd like to share about like. Okay, I'm sure that you know the meaning of like in English. There are basically two meaning in English. The first is seperti, and the second one is menyukai. It sounds easy, isn't it? However, sometimes I think it's a trendy language, a trendy words, because nowadays I frequently heard that this like is used everywhere, and that's actually not good because grammatically it's incorrect. And by the way, it's not only foreign speakers who say so. Some of the native speakers also use this kind of form of language. However, it doesn't mean that it's correct. It's actually incorrect grammatically. Meaningfully, probably is still acceptable, but then it's not correct. Okay, so back to the basic function of like. The first is seperti. It's a preposition. So as a preposition, it must be followed by a noun or verb ing, or it can be noun clause. All right. For example, like my father, I love coffee. Like my father. My father is a noun phrase. That's correct. And then, well, I listened to a song last night. Uh, it is like the previous popular song that I have ever listened. Okay, it is like the previous popular song. The previous popular song is a noun phrase, so that's also correct. Okay, so as long as like, which means seperti, is followed by a noun or noun phrase or verb ing or noun clause, it's still proper, it's still correct grammatically. All right, and then the second one, like as menyukai, this is very common. I like chocolate. I like chocolate. Like here is the synonym of love. Okay, the degree is somehow different, but then when we want to say something we like or dislike, then I like eating chocolate. Okay, I like chocolate. That's also correct. I like going to the cinema, for example. Or sorry, yeah, I like going to the cinema. The cinema, if you know the cinema that I mentioned, but then if I talk to general person, and then I talk to about general cinema, then I like going to a cinema. Okay, right. So what is the improper usage of like that I mentioned earlier? All right, and usually when I watched the interview on YouTube, most native speakers say, for example, last last month I met my ex-girlfriend and she was like, "Oh, you're looking nasty." Okay, she was like, "Oh, you are looking nasty." You know, actually the meaning. You know exactly the meaning. However, it's supposed to be last month I met my ex-girlfriend and she said that I was looking nasty. We just need to report it. So to know the reported speech, you just simply, okay, probably next time we can discuss this, but then you can browse on the internet reported speech. Okay, and then the other the other use of improper like and then statement is very common. For example, uh, yesterday I I discussed something with my best friend and he was like, "Oh, you can't do that. It's not a good decision." The same actually, he was like, it's supposed to be he said that. He said that I couldn't do that, for example. Okay? So be careful of that kind of like. And then the second one that I frequently encounter is like plus adjective. That's also incorrect, because remember the first rule: if like is a preposition, then after that it must be followed by noun or noun phrase or noun clause or verb ing. So for example, uh this morning I visited my friend, and he was like very busy. He was like very busy. Why don't you just say he was quite busy or he was rather busy? Like here is, how do I say, useless. It's useless. Okay? So if anytime you put like plus adjective, the like that is useless. Simply use the adjective. It doesn't change the meaning and it sounds better, because this kind of trendy word, and it's it happens to every language. Sometimes it, well, the more we know it, and the worse it becomes. I mean, every time I heard somebody say, I was like blah blah blah. Well, I was like very busy last time, so I couldn't meet you, for example. Why don't you say, I was very busy. I was having a great holiday, so I couldn't meet you, for example. That's simple. Okay, so those are some usages of like which are improper. So remember that like is basically means seperti in bahasa Indonesia or menyukai. So just use that. Okay, you don't have to sound trendy to be good in English, because although it's used by native speakers, it isn't correct anyway. Moreover, if you are taking IELTS preparation, so that's crucial for you to remember. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this is insightful, and bye bye.